definitely know this map. I know it. Let's get into this. Spawning in the bottom left position, coming in for Quantic Gaming. Died once to Super, but was able to knock him out in round 2. Can he bring this to a final game? It is Center. And spawning in the top right position, coming in for MVP to try to seal the deal here as our red Zerg player, it is Shine. So, guys, TvZ Center. If you guys don't know, as I said before, Center, probably one of the lesser heard about Korean players. He was on TSL. Is actually the only Terran aside from Pol. Kind of showing, you know, a bit of that, you know, really liking that bio style, the heavy drop aggression. And, well, we'll have to see what he wants to do in this game. We're going to be on Cloud Kingdom here. So, if you guys, this map was super popular in Wings of Liberty. Not in too many tournament pools anymore, just due to age. But it was it's kind of considered a safe haven in terms of maps for Zerg players. It used to be very popular for meching Terrans. But mechs kind of died out in Heart of the Storm a bit. We're going to have a pretty fast gas opener, though, from Center on this map. So the cliffs, of course, allow for a pretty good Reaper micro usage. So we'll have to see if he wants to really employ that. Shine going down now with this drone to take this natural expansion. But it's a pretty safe map. The third base is fairly close. It's not difficult to spread creep there. And there's 3 distinct creep pushing lanes. The left side, down the center, and, of course, off to where the 4th base could be. So... well, or I guess 5th base, depending. But we're going to have a pretty fast gas opener, though, for Shine. So this isn't terribly unusual these days. A lot of Zerg players opening up with gas to deal with Reapers. We did see the gas opener from Monster paying off in big dividends against Apocalypse earlier on in this very match. So not unusual to see this at all, especially considering that Center is going for the Reaper opener. We'll likely see him transition into a factory and a reactor, possibly expanding before that, of course, and then maybe even expanding again, going for a triple command center play. Pretty much the standard you're going to see in TvZ these days is either going to be proxy racks, or Reaper into 3cc, or command center first into 3cc. So we'll have to see what exactly he wants to do, though. The first Reaper is now out. We have another one queued up behind it. And, of course, Reapers take so long to build. It's very easy to expand behind them because you're putting in a very cheap amount of money for a unit that takes a while to create. So, spawning pool will complete rather soon, though. He's going to have enough gas to get speed. He's actually completely stopping mining. So that's a bit more like what Startail Life does. That really, really defensive, economic, macro-y style where you get fast speed. So the Reaper comes in. He's going to see... okay, poke away at a drone or 2. There's no lings in the field just yet. We'll be able to pick off 1 drone, so a nice catch here from Center, controlling this Reaper pretty decently. Wants to get as many kills as he can. First couple Zerglings, though, coming out. Zergling speed has now started. And behind this Center, getting this command center at the natural. And the Reaper's just ducking around. It has the combat drugs to be able to regenerate its health. So it will be able to get away, restore its health, and go in for more aggression with this next Reaper. And behind this, there is that factory and reactor. So he will be moving into some kind of Hellion, possibly Widowmine play behind this. And he's just using the Reapers to tag the towers, delay any kind of Zergling aggression to protect his expansion. So he's not really overextending with the Reapers. He wants to make sure these Zerglings can't go in here and deny his command center. So really good play here, just being on top of what's happening on the field. So he doesn't want to give up the map control very early on. And Center's going to go for the 3 command centers. So there you have it, guys. He's going to go for this super economic follow-up to his Reaper play. A couple more Zerglings, 6 more on the field. These 2 Reapers, he's not really committing, though. Center's not making a ton of units to commit, and he's poking away. He's doing so much damage to these Zerglings. A lot of resources basically being thrown away here. 200 minerals worth of resources gone, which, I mean, compared to nothing is pretty solid so far. But Shine does now have his natural security, has the Queen here, usually good at shutting down these Reapers, but he's going to dive in anyways. He's going to throw these Reapers away to kill a couple drones. Just 1 drone, actually. And, you know, sometimes it's better to have that map presence, though. He's lost his ability to take the towers. 4 drone, 2 Reapers. The amount of utility and map presence that you gain with 2 Reapers, I'm not so sure is worth throwing away for a drone. But the first 2 Hellions are out, so he's kind of going to get that back immediately anyway. And this Zergling's just kind of running around. Of course, he has that the wings on them, so he can fly around a little crazy like. But a 3rd hatchery on the way now for Shine. Center is going to get a tech lab on this barracks, so we'll likely see him just get stim, maybe take a second gas, and then throw it on 2 engineering bays. Very, very, very popular transition into this. And then just going into some kind of bio-Widowmine play. It's just that popular. The Hellions are at the front. He wants to check. And basically speaking, when you have your Hellions at the front like this, you want to know, okay, well, did my opponent go for a 3rd hatchery? Yes. Did he have gas when I scouted him? Yeah. His biggest fear at this point would be something like a 3-base roach attack, basically, where Shine would just not get any drones on his 3rd, build a roach board, and just go for a big knockout punch. But the Hellions are providing that early pressure at the front. We do have a spine crawler on the way. Shine being a bit careful. And he wants to also slow down the creep spread as much as he can. So the 4, now 6 Hellions at the front. He's going to switch off this. He's going to make 2 Widow Mines using that supply drop. It's almost, never a bad idea to use the supply drop if you need to. Doesn't want to get supply blocked. Needs to get these Widow Mines out. If he is getting attacked very soon, it's totally worth it. But there's the stim coming. There's that double engineering bay. And Center, he's doing everything that he wants to do right now. He's not really being inhibited in any way. And he's picking off the creep tumor. So not bad at all. And at the same time, Shine is feeling pretty comfortable himself. He's got this 4-queen opener rolling. He's getting his double evolution chamber. So he's going to be barely behind in upgrades, not by any significant amount. The most will be behind is about 40 seconds. It's very difficult to exploit a window that small. So Starport now coming in on this reactor for Center. He's going to get his factory moving over. Possibly just going to use this to build reactors for barracks. He's adding on 2 more of those. So Hellions are going to pressure this 3rd base. He comes in, gives a bit of a shove on that queen. Will be forced to retreat though. And Center doesn't want to commit too hard to this, but the lair is now coming in for Shine. He's getting up a Baneling nest as well, so this looks like he wants to go for this Zergling Baneling Mutalisk style. He is getting the upgrades for the Zerg melee, and now the Hellion's going to try to dive into this 3rd, pick up a couple of drones. How many will he get? 1 drone, loses a Hellion, gets 2 drones, a 3rd one as well there. And not terrible. I mean, the Hellions, their role is mostly for the really early game defense. He just wants to make sure that Shine doesn't do anything crazy like a big Baneling attack. And that's one of the risks, though. A lot of Terran players have been skimping on the factory units, such as the siege tanks, so it leaves them very vulnerable. But these 2 mines at the edge of the creep is a pretty interesting play. Basically, it's so early that he might not expect it. He could run Zerglings out, get caught off guard, and just lose a lot of lings. But Center now getting this armory. Upgrades are going to finish pretty soon. He's going to be able to start that 2-2 at a pretty decent time. And, well, trying to land 3rd command center. Oh, the Overlord's going to go there and poop the creep to deny it. Center. Oh, that 1 Zergling. He can't park the command center on it. And now that 3rd base will be denied for a very long time, guys. It takes a whole minute for Overlord pooped creep to go away once it completely spreads. So Center wants to take this out as fast as he can. It's going to delay that base a bit. Does do a little bit of delay on Shine's supply. And he's going to block him a tiny bit. But now the Spire's coming in. The Overlord speed as well as Baneling speed. So he's moving in, he's getting his macro hatchery, getting this perfect mid-game setup. And it's the Zergling Baneling Mutalisk versus the Marine, occasionally Marauder Widow Mine. That's just become so popular. And he's really making the most of these very small numbers of units, bringing these Widow Mines forward, has a couple of Marines with the stim, and he's trying to hit maybe before Baneling speed. What he has is 1-1. No 2-2 started yet for either player. Zergling does bait out one of the Widow Mine shots. He's going to try to catch him here in the center, pulling up in the medevac. That Widow Mine does pick up a couple of units, but it's not going to be a huge deal, and now he's going to be forced to retreat with these medevacs, so it's not a huge commitment. Viking, though, picking off some of these Overlords as well, so not bad play from Center. And now the 2-2 is going to start for Shine before Center, so Shine is looking pretty solid here. He's got the 3-base saturation, should be looking to take a 4th base, and there he is, getting ready to build that 4th hatchery. So with 9 Mutalisks about to come out, and this Mutalisk attack, it looks like he wants to be very aggressive. Of course, getting that Mutalisk attack is so important for dealing with missile turrets as well. And, really getting a lot of cost-effectiveness out of these Hellions. A lot of Terran players just throw these away by this point in the game. They don't mesh too well with the Marine Hellion, the Marine Mine composition. But this Viking, he's being everywhere. And a drop in the natural expansion brings in this mine as well. Gets a decent shot off. Picks off a couple of drones. And Center just being as heroic as he can. He's going to push this 4th base now. He has the mines here as well. So far, he's killed about 7 drones in this game. Not bad. Blows the mines. The Zergling's coming in. Is he going to be able to get any big hits? Does a lot more damage to himself, really, than his opponent. But he does force a cancel on that 4th hatchery. So the Mutas clean up the drop on the east side of the map, but now he could be looking to put on a bit of counter pressure. There's no missile turret here. Center needs to get some units to defend this 3rd base. There's a missile turret in the main, but the Marines, he needs to bring them over here. He does not have that combat shield upgrade yet, so it's going to be a bit difficult to fight them head on. Bringing the mines up. Doesn't do too much, though, to actually stop this, so he's looking fine. 2-2 will finish for both of these players reasonably soon, and now Stepping forward, the Mutalisks, he's bringing the Banelings, bringing the Zerglings, he's to burrow these mines, these Marines with the stim and no combat shield get one-shotted by Banelings. He's taking a lot of damage from these Zerglings, and this is just hurting him so badly with these Overseers here to spot. He's got the mines, though, in the back, trying to pick these up before they can detonate. Gets the Banelings with them, though, so not bad. Center feeling all right, but now the supply lead is going to favor Shine. Drop, though, or actually just a Viking moving around. Man, this Viking pretty tenacious. He's just like, wait, there's Mutalisks on the field. He's going to land there and try to do it a bit more harass, but there's so many Zerglings on the field with these Mutalisks that Center is in a bit of trouble. He doesn't have the Marine count that he wants. He's now going to get the second factory going, getting the drilling claws that allows the Widow Mines to burrow basically instantly. The Viking does manage to pick off two drones, it looks like, before being forced to lift off and go back to killing Vikings, but it's a very tense situation right now for Center. He's got the 3-base economy that he wants, but he needs to make good use of it. The Mutalisks coming into the natural. The missile turrets are going to be bare and available for attacking. He's going to take out both of them, and then he's just going to duck away after killing an SCV. So he's pulling Center back and forth, and now the Zergling counter run by is going to be heading over towards the third. No, he's just going to duck around with it a little bit. Burrow now coming out, and he really wants to pull them apart with these Mutalisks. He wants to make sure he knows where the Marines are, and now taking out these missile turrets that are in production. He's opening the opportunity for himself to go for another big attack, making Banelings on the east side. Drop, though, hitting the natural. He's got a mine here as well with these Marines. The Mutalisks being forced to duck back, and he's picking off even more drones, so good play here from Center. He's killed 19 drones so far this game, and this drop play is how he needs to get these Mutalisks off of his back. It's really important to not let the Zerg player get comfortable with all this Mutalisk harass, because the longer he gets the longer he's able to do this, you know, if Center doesn't do any kind of counter pressure like he's doing now, he's just not going to be able to actually put up any kind of defense, because he's just going to get harassed to death. But now these Zerglings and the Banelings are headed over to the third base of Center. The wall is only going to cover a very small portion of this. The sensor tower sees it. Is he going to be ready? He's now moving in with the Zerglings. The Banelings are slowly becoming behind. At the same time, Center is going for a push towards that fourth base with the mines. He's going to try to clear this out. There's so many of the Zerglings are here, though. If Center can hold on to his third base without taking too much damage, he should be fine. There's only one Baneling. The Widow Mine is going to get triggered. Actually gets taken out, and the Baneling gets some good hits. These SCVs are very weakened. The Marines moving forward. The mines taking out a lot of these Zerglings, but also killing most of the Marines in the process. Center needs to maintain a good split. The third base looks like it is going to fall. The Zerglings held off at the natural. Center needs to get to defend this third command center as fast as he can. The Widow Mines will be destroyed with these, with the Overseer coming up here. The mines cooldown not over just yet. The third command center does die, though. Center losing his third. A huge, huge loss. And now he needs to do a lot of damage, but these Overseers are going to be done very soon. These Widow Mines might not actually be able to get off any good number of shots. Get off a couple hits before they die. Not what he wanted, though, out of that, and losing that third command center. He's just going to float the main over with no real minerals left in the main base. This is the best thing he can do. Go for a follow-up push and try to make something happen. The mines barrel. He brings the Zerglings forward. Are you going to get the hits? Yes, he gets a huge number of hits with these Widow Mines, splitting the Marines. But is it going to be enough of a supply lead for Shine? Is it too much? He's got so many Zerglings, but the Marines will persevere with those 2-2 upgrades. Shine, though, is producing a lot more. He needs to kill this fourth base, or he is going to be dead in the water, dropping the mules. He's going to be able to get the Marine production going once again. He's lost all of the mines in this fight, though. The third hatchery is dead, and now Center equalizing things a little bit. He's going to want to get another command center either way so he can establish a fourth. A lot of these SCVs are long-distance mining. They need to be sent over to mine some gas. He needs to get a little bit more spread resource collection, but he's just going to go build a hatchery on the east side of the map. And Center, he's doing what he needs to do, but he's down in supply. He's in a bit of a precarious position, and this game could fall out of his hands very, very quickly. These Overlords are kind of patrolling around, maybe trying to scare him into thinking that there'll be a Baneling drop. But now the Mutalisk looking to harass a bit more. Ooh, this Medevacs got no hit points. Dies. 8 Marines die instantly. And Shine is just trying to pick off a couple of these mules. He realizes this is the lifeblood of his economy. That main command center moved out also means this gas can't be mined anymore. And Center really, really needs to fix these SCVs. Either build another command center. He's got a ton of money. There's no reason for him not to do that. He's moving in with a lot of these units. He's got the mines, and he might have pushed again to this next fourth base. And there's a good number of Banelings for Shine and Zerglings at his third. But this could actually be a pretty good position for Center to put on some harass. The problem is there's so many Zerglings and Mutalisks ready to dive into this third base. He's building the missile turrets, but now as Center moves out, he's going to force a cancel on that fourth base. But he needs to come back and defend his third. He could lose another command center here. This would be absolutely huge. He's going to stim these units, or not. He needs to get back here, though. If he loses this command center, there's absolutely no way he's going to be able to pull himself back in this game here. He's going to be on one base. The Mutalisk doing so much damage. He's going to be able to get the Marines here. He needs to call down some mules or something to repair this. The Mutalisks will will be forced back. But he needs to fix this thing up now and get back to mining. Very, very important to deny that base. The drop hitting the main as well at the same time for Center. Now inside of Shine's base, beginning to pick off the drones here and the mineral line at the gas. He's doing a pretty solid job. He's keeping everything back here. All the Banelings and Zerglings forced to pull up here, and this will give Center enough time to repair this command center and get himself situated. But with the resources that he had, he still has these SCVs long distance mining. He can bring them over here to mine. I mean, he's already saturated, but I just feel like if he wants to mine gas, there's such a better way to do it, especially since he's not mining in his natural at all. But, he, a bit distracted, of course. The circumstances of this game have gotten pretty crazy, but it looks like Shine wants to go in once again to the third base, and Center's moving out. He needs to keep this base safe. He has 5 Widow Mines here positioned to defend. This SCV will be killed. He knows now that the units are coming over to his base. 1 Widow Mine does get triggered. He's going to bring the rest of these Zerglings in. Is it going to be enough, though? Does get a good solid hit there with that Widow Mine. He may have enough mines to defend this, and Center, he's pushing towards this 4th. If he can kill this again, he can maintain himself another nice position. So many of those Banelings died taking out the drop, and now Center trying to bait him into the mines, but he doesn't actually have too many mines here. He mainly just lift up in these medevacs and retreat. The rest of his units are coming up to rejoin his forces, trying to get a good split here. It's just Pure Ling versus Marine, and now great splits! The Widow Mines go off, killing a ton of these Zerglings. The Banelings are there, but Center maintains his Marine count. His 3rd base is secure, and now he's going to press forward. He needs to destroy this 4th base once again, but the Zerglings, are there too many of them? The mines are going to burrow, but they don't have their shots available. He's going to lift into the medevacs and just boost away. But this is exactly what Center needs to do. He's being so scrappy, not giving up, not giving a single inch of ground to Shine, and now it's beginning to show in what Shine has, but he's getting some investors out. He's looking for the cost-effective units in this very, very low economy game. Let's take a look at some numbers, though. Currently, there are 45 SCVs to 75 drones. We have 34 drones killed by Center, so he's done a good job, but he's also lost 27 of his workers, and in resources lost, Center has actually been barely less cost-effective, so it's been pretty even, though. Another drop in the natural, not going to do too much. At the same time, these Changelings, though, are here to spot Center's army, so he knows he has an opportunity for a counterattack if he wants. He's got the mines, but the fungal growth will work very well against him. He's going to burrow the mines. Here come the Zerglings and the Banelings. He needs to get a hit off on these Banelings. He's going to burrow them. There's no Overseer here. He gets a couple solid hits off, but he needs to be so careful doing this as slowly as he can. He needs no 4th command center. He's almost pretty much all in with this attack. Gonna come in here. The mines not able to do anything, trying to split the Marines. It's a pretty solid split, but does he have enough units to actually take all this out? The Mutalisks will clean up everything left over. There's another force of Marines available, but it looks like Shine just has too much for Center to handle. Losing that economy early on hurt him so badly, only being able to have the 2 mules, never getting a 4th base up. And it looks like now this 4th base is finally secure for Shine. He's getting the hive. It's now complete. We should see an Ultralisk Cavern in 3-3. And, yeah, at this point, there's not too much Center can do. He's just going to float the command center off to another base and try to get more resources. These SCVs are still long-distance mining from the main, which is a bit unfortunate, but this is his only chance, really. He needs to secure this 4th with this and just slowly sucking the life out of every base and then just moving on to something bigger and better. And Shine's going to run up to this 3rd with a couple of Zerglings. He's going to be like, wait, there's no 3rd here. So now he's going to realize, well, if there's nothing here, it's either in the bottom right or it's going to be this top left position, and these Zerglings will spot these SCVs moving up. Center trying to get a good position here. He's got the mines. He's going to burrow them, but is it going to be in time? He's coming in. The mines trying to get some hits off. We'll be able to pick away some of these infestors and a pretty cost-effective engagement there for Center, getting some good mine shots off, but these Zerglings poking away at the SCVs. He's dealing a lot of damage to these workers. The mines under some pressure, and the medevac count non-existent for Center, so he can't really be cost-effective versus the energy here. And another fungal is going to be able to clean up a lot of these. There's just not enough Marines, and Center's army is going to be dead here. 63 to supply. He just doesn't have the economy he needs to front his production. And right now, these Mutalisks are going to come in here. He's going to be like, hey, man, you don't have enough to stop me from pushing you. He wasn't cost-effective enough with the mines, and the Zerglings are going to press in, and Center trying to hold on in what could be the last game, but now he's up to 1/3 the supply of Shine. And, well, this match, GG, Center is out, and so is Quantic in this best-of-9 match.